Do you think it is just money-driven, though?
No, it's not just money-driven. He knows that if he comes lacking, Crawford gonna beat him. Crawford knows if he comes lacking, Canelo gonna beat him. No, it's not money-driven at all. Money just was a good reason to make the fight happen.
Terence is a tremendously skilled fighter. So is Canelo a very skilled fighter. But he doesn't have the same skill set as Terence does.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate you, man.
Interact together. What is it in your mind?
I think he's just used to the stage. You know what I'm saying? It's a different stage, man. But I don't know, man. It's like
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez delivered the spectacle fans had been waiting for. After the fight, boxing pros reflected on the atmosphere and build-up with real admiration. They noted how well Crawford handled the Mexican crowd and the intensity of the fans. Both fighters showed mutual respect and carried the weight of history on their shoulders. Canelo risked his legacy at super middleweight, while Crawford sought to become a three-weight undisputed champion. Analysts agreed it was a huge ask, yet Crawford's poise and poker-faced focus convinced many that he belonged at the elite level.
Took the boos from the Mexican fans really well, and then towards the end of the press conference, he's so succinct and pithy in everything he says, Bud, that his supporters eventually came to the fore in the arena. He's incredibly popular. Canelo's he's not arrogant, but he's got so much self-belief. And then it's like a game of ping pong, back and forth all the time. Great atmosphere. We've had a brilliant day interviewing so many people about it. Today makes me feel really stoked about this fight now.
Stoked, great word.
Stoked.
There's a lot of respect between both guys. I think they both know what they've got themselves into. Obviously, Terence is on the precipice of history. Three-weight undisputed champion, not been done in the modern era. And obviously Canelo Alvarez, he's taking a big risk here. He's fighting what everybody's saying is the smaller guy. But when he was up on that stage, both guys paying an awful amount of respect to each other, both admitting that this is a 50-50 and could go either way.
Yeah, no nostalgia. They were asked about nostalgia and the biggest fight of their lives. Neither man wants to think about those things. They know they've got an elitist fighter in front of them. Canelo, like you say, has his legacy to lose in many ways that he's created in recent times at super middleweight, being undefeated in that division for 6.5 years. Against a guy that's come up from lightweight. Let's not forget that he beat Ricky Burns to win the world title at the beginning. It's a massive ask for Terence Crawford still, but there's that feeling in all of us that he is capable of doing it. And he presents that the whole time. He's got this poker face. He's got this ability to respond in the right way to everything.
Crawford at the higher weight proved he could earn Canelo's respect by not backing away and standing firm in exchanges. Observers noted how he didn't adopt a purely defensive Mayweather-like style, but instead stayed true to his own approach, mixing sharp counters with smart movement. Canelo's pressure and power were constant reminders of his dominance at super middleweight, while Crawford's composure and adaptability highlighted his greatness. The bout carried echoes of past challenges Canelo faced, yet felt unique in its intensity.
At 168 pounds. It is going to be a bit of a mystery how he comes into this weight class. There were some rumors of a shoulder injury. I'm not putting any stock into that because I don't think we can unless there's anything official really out there. Point being, there's got a lot of question marks around Terence Crawford. This video, we are going to suppose that those question marks are answered in full force by Terence Crawford being an absolute monster at this weight class. It's a lot of assuming, but it's kind of what we have to do to see the best version of Terence Crawford in this fight. So let's assume the weight doesn't bother him. Let's assume he is fully healthy, not injured. Let's assume that Canelo's power is not too much from him coming up from 147, 154 to 168. Let's assume all that's true. How does Terence Crawford win this fight? Number one, he has to get Canelo's respect early. Terence Crawford is not going to fight this fight on his back foot, circling around the ring like William Skull or Edgar Berlanga, any of these guys that got hit by Canelo and went, ooh, no, I don't want any part of that. That can't happen. And do not forget, by the way, that Charlo was 154 undisputed champion.
When the dust settled after this monumental clash, many echoed the sentiments of Carl Froch and Hamza Shiraz. Crawford's skill set, timing, and ability to hold his composure on such a massive stage left a lasting impression. At the same time, Canelo's legacy loomed large throughout the bout. He has faced the likes of Gennady Golovkin and Floyd Mayweather, opponents who pushed him to refine his craft, and that experience shaped his presence in this fight. his power remains a force that demands respect, not just from the crowd, but also from every analyst observing ringside. The bout showed the fascinating balance between Crawford's frightening precision and Canelo's tried and tested strength at the highest level. It was less about proving who was better and more about highlighting the greatness of both men, one solidifying his reputation and the other continuing his legacy.
Talk about Crawford, Canelo, before we move on to you and Canelo.
Yeah.
Who you got for this? I mean, this is an exciting fight. What's your pick for this one?
I think Canelo's going to win rounds 8 to 10 knockout.
You think he'll get a stoppage, yeah?
Yeah, I think he's going to get the stoppage. I think...
Are you basing that just on size? Or?
No. It's a little bit on size, but I think Crawford's ego is not going to let him box. You got to remember,
so you think he'll take him on?
Yeah. And I think he'll try. He'll do what he has to do at the start, realise it's not going to work. Later on, try and match him, and that's it. Game over.
See, I think if Crawford's got to do the job, it's got to be boxing, moving, keeping
that's
out
the only way it can be done. He can't fight him, can he?
No, he can't fight. And you're saying there he gets drawn in because he just might do because he's unbeaten. He fancies himself as a bit of a tough. Well, he's tough, isn't he? He's tough, strong. He does everything well.
Yeah.
But at this weight, but Canelo was down at welterweight when he started, up at light heavyweight, and obviously been beat. He lost to Mayweather and lost to Dimitri Bivol.
Yeah.
Bivol was too much for him.
Yeah,
back down at super middleweight now. That's probably his comfortable weight. And you just think Crawford's just not big enough.
Nah, I don't think he is, man. And the thing is, with someone like Canelo, you got to either throw punches in bunches like Bivol did, or you got to be there where he respects your power, like GGG and these guys. So it sounds a bit mad, but I don't think Crawford's got either or. He's talented, one of the best fighters in our generation, but you've got to remember you're going up. 2 divisions, 3 divisions.
Yeah, 2 or 3
It's
divisions.
different. The game's different up there.
And Canelo's not going anywhere, is it? Because he got clips. You mentioned Bivol there, and Bivol smashed him with quite a lot of big, heavy shots.
Yeah.
And he coped.
He took it.
Never been down, has
he ate it. And it didn't phase him. So I don't see how Crawford can hurt him, to be fair.
The contest highlighted the clear contrast between a natural super middleweight and a fighter daring to test himself at a higher weight. One side carried the advantage of experience at 168 pounds, showing the ability to absorb shots that would trouble most opponents, while the other relied on sharpness, adaptability, and relentless activity to match the pace. The exchanges showed flashes of power, timing, and high-level adjustments from both men, keeping the outcome uncertain throughout. As the rounds wore on, fatigue and pressure became factors, setting the stage for dramatic moments in the closing championship rounds.
Weird, it's quite difficult to read. Canelo's not as difficult, but Canelo's just so much more experienced. And yes, they're going to look physically the same, but he's the natural 168-pounder. He's the one that's taken shots from guys that probably on a fight night weigh in nearly 200 pounds, and he's been able to eat those shots, eat them, right? I mean, we haven't seen Canelo wobbled since Miguel Cotto's brother wobbled him way back when, right? I mean, apart from that, this guy's taken shots off Gennady Golovkin. And anyone that can eat shots off Golovkin, I'm sorry, you've got my full respect because we know how hard Golovkin hits. What will Crawford's legs look like after a few rounds against Canelo? Like, Crawford's going to have to be active. One thing Crawford's got to understand as well, it's in Vegas. If you want to beat Canelo, you got to beat Canelo. A bit like Bivol did. You've got to make sure there is no arguments. It's all said and done. I did way more work. So Crawford's got to be busy. Canelo, we just know, isn't going to revert back to Canelo of 6-7 years ago. It ain't going to happen. So what Canelo does do is he tries to hurt you with one big shot now. He won't load up. It will tap you, then bang. I think we've seen that, especially that shot he throws where it looks like he's going to go to the body, then it goes up top. He's really good at that shot. So Crawford's got to look out for that. I think Crawford wins quite a few of the early rounds. And then I think the weight of Canelo's punches, the weight in Crawford's legs start to take some impact. And I think Canelo starts to eat a lot of the second half of the fight rounds. And then I think it comes down to who can do something in 11 and 12 championship rounds. I really do believe that's how it's going to play out. I've got a feeling that Canelo will hurt Crawford.
In the aftermath, conversations inevitably drifted to the issue of PED testing, with some still questioning whether Canelo faced the same scrutiny as others in this weight class. The fight itself, however, remained the main focus. Both men performed with remarkable discipline, displaying fitness and conditioning that reflected months of preparation. Crawford's ability to bring his skill up in weight drew praise, while Canelo's durability, even against sharp punches, reminded fans why he has been dominant for so long. Yet the shadow of doping discussions still lingered, not as an accusation, but as a recurring theme that surfaces whenever Canelo enters the ring.
He's around a whole bunch of dope people, right? His whole camp, we all know 7 people's been busted there. So how and why is no one asking about if he's been dope tested for this mega fight, right? And that's what I've been watching for. And that's why, my interest is waning, my interest, because I understand that there's people who don't care. You know what I call boxing here, BTBG, beat the black guy. That's what I call boxing. That's what I've been seeing for years, right? Example, who gave a damn when Devin Haney was cheated with Ryan Garcia? Full of dope. All they were doing is celebrating a win, was what they were calling it, with somebody doped.
Bob Arum's reflections captured the essence of what unfolded. Crawford showcased his trademark intelligence, blending offense with defensive adjustments, while Canelo's skill, though perhaps not as quick and flashy as in earlier years, carried the weight of experience. Observers noted moments where Canelo relied on ring craft rather than sheer volume, pacing himself to create opportunities for his power punches. Crawford, meanwhile, carried the aura of a fighter determined to prove that skills can transcend divisions. The contrast between youthfulness and approach and the maturity of a seasoned champion defined much of what fans witnessed. Arum's comment that Canelo's tools have changed over time rang true. He is no longer the whirlwind of combinations from his early career, but has refined into a patient strategist. The atmosphere throughout the fight was a reminder of just how accustomed Canelo is to the biggest stages.
Are you willing to pick him over Canelo? That fight's going to happen in September at 168.
Well, it's a big difference in weight with Canelo and Terence. But if any fighter has a chance with Canelo, it's Terence. Terence is a super talent, and he has a real chance, despite the weight disparity, to beat Canelo. A real chance.
Who would you favor, though? Or is it just 50-50?
It's very hard because of the difference in weight. I would think that if I had to bet the fight, that I would bet Terence, because Terence has more skills than Canelo. But he's given away a lot of weight, a lot of real weight, so that matters. But again, Terence is a tremendously skilled fighter. So is Canelo a very skilled fighter, but he doesn't have the same skill set as Terence does.
Gabriel Rosado's words resonated as fans saw a man who has headlined global events for over a decade. Canelo's composure in the spotlight was undeniable, and he never looked overwhelmed by the scale of the occasion. Crawford, however, showed that he was not intimidated either, meeting the moment with an unshakable calm that suggested his own readiness for such a platform. Experience often shapes how fighters handle high-pressure exchanges, and this contest had plenty. The crowd witnessed 2 athletes not just competing, but performing with poise under the brightest lights.
I feel like it's leaning towards Canelo, man.
Really?
Yeah.
And what gives you that feeling when you think about it? Is it the way he looks? Is it the way they interact together? What is it in your mind?
I think he's just used to the stage. You know what I'm saying? It's a different stage, man. But I don't know, man. It's like I said, Crawford that dude. But I don't know, man. I think Canelo gonna get it.
Is there anything that you feel like Terence is giving off that makes you feel like maybe the moment is too big, in your opinion, having seen it time and time again, or is it just a gut feeling you have?
No, man. I just think, man, that it's just comfortability, like as far as weight and activity. Canelo's been active. And I don't know, man. It's hard to be on your A game when you ain't fighting over a year. So, especially when you fight top level.
What makes it difficult when you've been out for a year?
Because timing.
What is it about coming back?
It's just that timing. We're going up. It's that timing. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
Richard Schaefer's reflections on Canelo's journey added poignancy to the event. From a teenager breaking into the sport to a global icon, Canelo's evolution was on display once more. His frame at 168 pounds looked natural, a reminder of how long he has campaigned at this level. Crawford, Standing across from him in the same division was a visual representation of two different paths colliding. Crawford's ambition to climb divisions showed remarkable courage, while Canelo's long journey underscored his durability and growth. The fight itself highlighted both stories, the young prospect who became a legend and the relentless champion daring to push his own boundaries.
The morning weigh-in?
Yeah, we just stepped away from the, we just stepped on the scale, 167.5. Crawford has the same weight. Interesting. And so they both seem to be in great shape. Canelo is ready, he's mentally ready as well, in a great mood, feels strong, looks strong, and is ready to perform.
My prediction, Canelo stoppage 8. It's a great fight, two great fighters. What do you think? How does this fight unfold?
Yeah, I could see that somewhere between the 8th and the 10th. It's just like, you know, I'm not so sure that that Crawford gaining, moving up to, weighing in at 167.5 pounds is really the smartest move, because I believe that this Crawford is not going to win the fight based on weight. Canelo is the bigger, stronger guy. So I think what Crawford did by actually coming in so high, he gave up some of his advantages, such as speed. So I personally think that was not a smart move, but hey, we'll take it.
You've known Canelo for many, many years, almost 20 years, 19 years. Tell me about the first time you ever met him and his route to where he is right now.
It's funny, we actually were looking the other day at some old pictures, and I shared them with Canelo. It was, he was 17 years old. It was in downtown Los Angeles at the Fiesta Broadway event, the big Hispanic festival, where he showed up with Jeppo and with Eddie, and my kids were there, my 3 sons, my wife, and they were like, you know, I don't know.
Roy Jones Jr.'s perspective captured Crawford's mindset perfectly. This fight was never just about financial rewards. It was about daring to test himself against one of the sport's greatest champions. Crawford entered the ring with a belief that radiated in his performance. He trusted his skill set, prepared meticulously, and carried himself with the confidence of a fighter who knows his own limits and strengths. Observers saw moments of brilliance that spoke to his self-belief as he adapted to challenges and showed resilience under pressure. Jones highlighted that true greatness comes from more than just stepping into the ring. It comes from believing you belong there. Crawford's poise and determination elevated the fight beyond spectacle into a showcase of courage and self-assurance.
And he brings that level of motivation. But do you think that it is just money driven though?
No, it's not just money driven. He knows that if he comes lacking, Crawford gonna beat him. Crawford knows if he comes lacking, Canelo gonna beat him. No, it's not money driven at all. Money just was a good reason to make the fight happen. And you ask, why did he take Crawford instead of anybody else? Because this is the best money opportunity, but it's also a better situation if you look at the whole dynamics of it. Canelo gets to be the big guy.
Yeah.
In a fight where he can make the most money he probably ever made.
Yeah.
Why would you not want that? You understand me? So no, money only incentive, but why would I not take a fight where I'm the bigger guy? You understand me? I don't, and this guy is good, don't get it wrong, which is what gets you out of bed every day. This guy is the only guy in the 4-belt era to be unified champion in 2 weight classes. Yeah. If you ain't getting your behind up out of bed for him, then you don't get up out of bed for nobody.
Yeah. Look, you talk there about Crawford being the bigger guy. Everyone's really...
No, Canelo being the bigger guy.
Sorry, about Canelo being the bigger guy. Everyone's really kind of hung up on the fact that Crawford's obviously coming up 2 weight divisions. But you've said before that he naturally walks around heavier than people kind of think, that actually it's not so much about him coming up, it's about the fact that he's not boiling down as much as before. So do you think the weight is as much of a factor as people are saying it is?
No, I don't. You know, I love guys like Crawford who follow a blueprint that I set. I set that blueprint to put in their heads that just because the guy's bigger don't mean you got to lose to him. When I came in to fight Jerome Ruiz, I gave up a lot of weight. You understand me? But because I had the technique and the skill and the punching power to get my respect, I was able to win the fight. And I did that so that people can understand that just because the guy's bigger than you don't mean that he got to be able to beat you.
Lennox Lewis voiced what many had been discussing long before the opening bell: the size disparity. Canelo's natural strength at super middleweight is no secret, and his ability to handle the power of bigger opponents has been proven time and again. Crawford, though moving up, showed that he could deliver speed, accuracy, and power that earned respect. Still, The questions surrounding weight lingered throughout the contest. These uncertainties made every exchange more gripping for fans watching live. Lewis's insight highlighted the core narrative of the night: skill versus size, speed versus strength.
What do you think about this matchup? Crawford moving up 21 pounds essentially to take on the guy at 68.
Yeah, man, Crawford's an amazing fighter. I call him Kung Fu because he fights on different styles. He's, hard to hit and he hits hard. And he's boxing a guy that, he has to jump up in weight like 3 categories. And this man is like a body snatcher. He comes and he wears you down. So it's a great fight. He's boxed, I'm talking Canelo's boxed a lot of guys that move around. And, he's used to that type of boxing. And he's used to guys that, try and hide. But this Crawford ain't gonna hide from him. Crawford is looking to, put some punches on him and keep him at a distance. That's what I would do if I was Crawford. And then take his opportunity. I mean, I would say Canelo is not easy to hit.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.